Hey, 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 what people? What's good? It's good to be back here. My mustache is growing into my mouth. I should shave it soon, right? So, hey, we've been out for a couple of days and now we're back. Back. A lot has been happening in Nigeria, so I can't imagine myself staying far and staying away for that long. Um, One of the things we're discussing today is Professor Okey Ndibe, the writer and teacher, said that Peter Obi is extremely self-referential and he is overpromising. Hey, well, one, I've never heard Obi overpromise anything. Anything Obi has said is something that's within his reach, right? And because we're on Love, Light, and Thunder, we wouldn't want Thunder to strike anybody, especially an academician, somebody who, has contributed so much, especially vocally. So we would want to play down on all he said. But when you say somebody is too referential, referencing himself, what do you expect? Would he rather reference Ibuari, who has done badly, or someone else who had its flawed in different styles? I think the best thing is to reference yourself and to hold yourself accountable. And then in the interview, Okendibe referred to Obi stating that he has one wristwatch, and when it was dog, he had more than one wristwatch. I think, Prof, you should channel your energy into outlining some of the things that you think that you think that Peter Obi can do better, right? That's what should matter. We should outline what you think would help, and if you want to support, you should support. Yeah, he is the most energetic, he is the most driven, he's best prepared. So I think Thunder shouldn't come at anybody. Don't Nobody should make Thunder come at them. Right. Tonye Cole's Wi-Fi MiFi project. Aha. Again, within the week, we discovered that the oil mogul and the River State gubernatorial aspirant, is it aspirant? Is a candidate with the APC. That the wife decided to provide five Wi-Fi devices to productive young people in River State. That's amazing. Well, um, as generous as that sounds, it is very, very, very disturbing that this couple will be donating five MiFi, so that 10,000 naira or less than 5,000 naira each to young people in River State who are probably jobless. Uh, we should observe a moment of silence for that's terrible, terrible, terrible act. I think they can do better. I know it's election period and you want to be in the news, but do something better, please. Do something better. All right. Hey, we want to give a special shout out today to Dunamis, uh, a church, the event held at the Glory Dome in Abuja, where Peter B was introduced to a teeming audience that wouldn't keep quiet until we had it. It felt like a great deal, and it resonated with everybody who supports P2B. That's awesome. We're very glad, and we thank the pastor of the church, for that great honor. We are not just online anymore. We are beyond online. Yep. Um, there's a funny story that's out there on the blogs, lots of blogs actually, and the story is that a certain prince in Ekiti State asks for the dissolution of marriage because the wife demands money each time, you know, he wants to have stuff to do with her in bed. And I don't know whether we should give the woman some thunder or or what should we? But I think the influence of this great woman is probably she's a Malian. She's been listening to a lot of crazy things. So be careful who your spouse listens to, because that could be at the detriment of the marriage, right? The next is May Edochie and Georgiana. They're fusing hatred. Also, you should know already that there's some chaos in the marriage between May Edochie and Yul, the actor who we learned took a second wife, and it's been a very terrible thing for the woman who didn't want to share a husband. I mean, why would anybody want to share their husband? But of course, the guy feels he's African and he has, the unlimited right to have more than a wife, and he did. But then there's been terrible back and forth in the marriage, and one person unfriended the other, one person unfollowed the other. It's been back and forth. But this time around, I think May is getting support from a lot of people who felt the man betrayed her. And you know how it is when your enemies reunite. So you should ask for forgiveness and go plead with the wife. Else, the thunder comes. And when thunder comes, it hits very hard. Cool. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight we don't have so much, but one of the trending things that I wish to talk about, because I am from the Niger Delta, is the um you know is the display of power as portrayed by the former um you know militant leader, Asari Dokubo, who is now an elder statesman and the chief. About a couple of days ago, he was in the news for carrying out his men. They were on a march, I think somewhere in Buguma. They displayed arms, and he walked around giving orders and all. And I don't understand. I don't understand how an older man who has fought for some issues in the Nigeria, has gone to prison, has had his fair share of grace. He has built university outside the country. He's done all these amazing things for himself. Would still go back to flaunt young people with arms, walking about in the streets of his hometown, thereby sending wrong signals to younger children within that community. I don't understand. Does it mean that the older somebody becomes, the less knowledgeable they are of things they should do and the things they can't do? Tonight, we're summoning Thunder, the big thunder, to come in its full force and speak to all the Nigerians who are refusing to do the right thing because they think that young people listen to them and they're using those privileges wrongly. The thunder is coming to all of you. But that should also give us a clear view of what the Nigerian security system looks like. If a young person were to, have a funny haircut and probably seen in the taxi, they'll be harassed. Their phones will be checked. But somebody parades his community, an elder statesman with weapons, lots of them, and nobody has called him to question or ask anything. And this is the country where we are in. Thunder. Ladies and gentlemen, I needed to bring you something for the weekend. And I hope you have an amazing week ahead. It's 1st of August tomorrow. And we pray that the month brings you all the awesomeness that you deserve.